Hey guys, good morning. I hope everybody's having an amazing Thursday morning. Boy, these weeks, these days, these months, they are falling,
Mm,
literally falling off the calendar to the point that we got to look back and say, where in the world did 2020 go?
wow.
Because it went so fast. And that's one of the reasons that we have to be prepared for what is coming next. And what is coming next is opportunity. And I don't know how many of you guys remember when the bottom fell out of the real estate market back in 2008. And then again, I think in like 2012. But during that time, even though they're talking to you on the news about how many people lost their homes and how bad the market was, certain people got rich.
Hmm.
I want to talk about that this morning.
Right.
During that time, see, these are the stories they don't always tell you. If you watch television, a lot of times they're so worried about the economy overall that they don't stop to talk to you about the people that are getting rich. And I'm sure you guys would want to be in that number. Shoot, I know I don't mind. And all that means is that you got to be ready. And real estate is one of those places that if you're ready and you know what you're doing, you definitely have an opportunity to, even if you don't get rich, even if you uh, have an opportunity to quit your job, start working for yourself, even if you have that opportunity to start getting some freedom, living your life the way you want to
Hmm.
me, all of that culminates when people ask, "Are you rich?" There are certain questions I feel like you should ask yourself. To me, you're rich if you don't work for anybody else.
Mm,
Good morning, CC. If you don't work for anybody else, you're rich. If you get to operate, good morning, Thomas Nicole, when you want to, then you're rich.
right.
If you don't have any difficulty paying who you owe, you're rich. And so I think people get it twisted that rich is a dollar amount. If you can travel wherever you want to, whenever you want to, outside of COVID, you're rich.
You're right.
If you could wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'd like to go to California and plan you a trip or either jump on that plane and go that day, you're rich.
Right.
And I'm blessed to have the benefit to do all of those things. You know, if you're able to pay your children's college tuition and they don't owe nobody, that's a rich state of mind. And if you want to join that, then there are things you have to do in order to be what's classified as rich and to live richly. Um, and it's all choice. And what I've learned too is that it all breaks down to what level of education do you have? Not a college education. Do you have an education in real estate investing?
Hmm.
Because that will make you rich. And I want you to download your copy of Women Don't Get Left Behind in Real Estate at bit.ly slash not me 2021. Because that's the point where you make a decision that I'm not going to keep being part of the masses.
Right.
I'm gonna start being part of the rich. I'm gonna be honest with you, Keita.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the bottom falls out, not a minute after, I'm be standing right there with my money, my credit, and everything else in my hand.
Right.
Because see, that's another thing you got to realize.
Mm-hmm.
Our preparation is not just about money.
Right.
In fact, the right preparation, some of y'all got money in your 401k that you're not doing nothing with. Some of you are spending money on some things that don't matter. Some of you have equity in your homes that you'll be able to use. There's so many ways to get started in real estate investing so that you can become quote unquote rich. So make sure you go to bit.ly/ not me 2021 to download your copy of Women Don't Get Left Behind in Real Estate for free. Chiquita, let's talk about that freedom
Wow.
that real estate investing can offer them for a moment.
Wow, Coach. You're right about real estate. One thing great about real estate too is real estate is good in good times and bad times. Whenever people running out, you run in. And like you said, Coach, you're gonna be ready. Whenever there's a bust or a change in the real estate, that's when we should be running in. But people that have a different mindset, they run away from it. But when you have real estate, you have the freedom to not have to go to work if you don't want to. If you just love that job and you're going to walk in just because you have nothing else to do, it's a different mindset when you're there.
Wait a minute now. Who is that though? Who in the world?
It's the people, it's like
No, wait a minute. Let's talk about it because I saw a woman one day that was like, I'm going to teach you how to make enough money. So if you want to stay at your job, you can. And I'm like, hold up, screw. Wait a minute. And y'all help me now because maybe I'm wrong. But I don't know nobody who is going to stay at a job if they got the freedom to leave.
Where you right about
wait a minute, I ain't never seen no professional football player with millions of dollars talking about, I'm going to go get me a job. I ain't never seen no lottery winner.
So, yeah, you're right. You're right. But maybe you're the one
in the world.
I'm talking about that one that don't have nothing to do because they got all this real estate.
Yeah, I can find go work for charity. Yeah. I tell people that all the time when I get to that point where I really am like, okay, I'm just not gonna work anymore. Baby, what I'm not gonna do is run up in a job.
Yeah.
Just because I'm bored. Baby, I go find me a little piece of nonprofit to work for around here. I can do something.
You're right, because once you start investing in real estate, you have financial freedom. You are unemployable. You're unemployable. You can't go work for nobody else. You're right.
Because you're not going to be able to feel on my booty. You're not going to be able to talk to me crazy. You're not going to be able to call me. You're not going to be able to treat me unjust. There's just so many things, guys. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, make sure you just share this broadcast because there's just so many things you're just not going to be able to do to me if I got money.
You're right. And when you invested in real estate, you had a freedom. You don't even need an alarm clock anymore. You have nowhere to be. Nobody's expecting you. It's the freedom to, like Coach said, get up and do whatever you want, not have to ask how much is it. I got to wait to pay that. Because you have financial freedom. You can retire yourself, your mama, your husband, whoever else whatever you want to do. That's what real estate lets you do. And so this is the right time for women, especially women, to own something, own land, own houses. This is the right time with the state of the economy. And like Coach says, the pandemic, there's women that say, I don't have any money to invest. Yes, you do. You're just looking in the wrong place. There's other creative ways for you to start investing, but you got to get the knowledge. Because they're not going to tell you. You got to get the knowledge.
And that's another thing. That's absolutely right. They're not going to tell you how to get free.
Mm-mm.
If you don't get in a circle community place where the knowledge to get free is shared profusely
Right.
and abundantly, you're going to be stuck behind what does it really take to get free. And a lot of times I think people give up. They give up and they say, oh, well, I'm going to wait, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out because we don't stick with it the same way we would stick with a job.
Right.
If we lost our job today, tomorrow we would be out there huffing and puffing trying to figure it out.
Right. Yep. You'd be out there trying to look for another job instead of looking to see what's in your hand to build your own business. You got to start investing in real estate to have a security, at least have one property. Every woman should at least own one property.
And that's another thing too. I think that we look at home ownership as something that's far off in the future and something you can't get without credit, but it goes back to that whole you have not because you ask not.
Mm-hmm.
And we limit ourselves and we limit our capabilities because we think you got to have some $1 million monstrosity of a house. And we don't say, well, let me start with this $10,000 fixer upper,
mm-hmm.
trade that in on a $50,000 fixer upper, mm-hmm. trade that in on a $100,000 fixer up, and spend a couple of years fixing the house up and steady upgrading your home.
Right.
I think that when it comes to strategy, because we're so busy as women, sometimes we don't have the time to just sit and think about what's going to be our next move.
Right. And then women think they have a lot of time. But like you said, this year is out. Where did it go? You think about it again, and you're 5 years down the road. I did that. Then you're 10 years down the road, and you still haven't started. You have to start. And with real estate, you can't wait to invest. You got to invest and then wait. And for women, that's the easiest thing for us to get into, to create wealth fast and safely.
And without all of the headache of trying to work an extra job, trying to, scrimp and save. One of the things that I hate most is that they try to portray women as wasteful and that. But, at the end of the day, why shouldn't I be able to get my hair done if I want to, $40, $50 a week? We ain't talking about no real money. Why shouldn't I be able to get my nails done if I want to, $20, $30 a week? We ain't talking about no real money. Mm-hmm. And you got women that's out there with the husbands that's making that money spending. I saw an American Greed. The man gave the woman $500,000 when they got married. Mm-hmm. And he said, if we still married 2 years from now, I'll give you $500,000 more. Do you know that girl spent that $500,000 in 6 months?
Wow.
That's reckless.
Yeah.
That's thrift.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
But if you ain't running around here buying no furs and no hella jewelry every day, then you're not wasting your money. At some point, as hard as we work, what you want me to look like I'm working hard? You want me to run around here looking run down, and you want me to run around here looking like I just woke up? I don't feel like we should have to do that.
No.
I don't feel like we should have to sacrifice at that level to make it. Now, if you have to, and I've had to, Chiquita, I know you've had to.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is what it is, but they make you think you're gonna get rich by sacrificing like that, and you're not.
You're not.
You're not gonna get rich.
You're not.
Run around here saying, I'm just not gonna drink Starbucks and I'm gonna save my coffee every day. Let's just do the math.
No, you can't.
You don't say you take the $10 and you save it every day for 365 days. you're only going to have $3,000. Time 10, 10 years,
10
you're
years.
only going to have $36,000.
You know, I look at it like this, Coach. Yeah, I want to keep my hair done. Well, so the money I'm gonna spend on that for the year, let me go get this little piece of property, and this property can pay my hair getting done. I need
And that's my point. If you're
That's
going to save like that,
right,
if you're going to scrimp like that, you got to have an end game.
right. Strategy.
Just to sacrifice like that forever and try to put that little money in the bank. Let me finish.
Mm-mm.
So 10 years of Starbucks is $36,000. So it would take you 30 years of not drinking Starbucks to come up with $100,000.
That's a horrible.
If you'd have took that first $3,000 that first year and started investing in real estate at that level, you'd have made that $100,000 back probably that first year or two.
Ooh.
You just got to think about why you're doing what you're doing. Stop listening to experts who are commenting on your behavior and don't really understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Right. You're right. There's no way you can save money to freedom. Not the average woman. You can't save your way to retirement. You can't just put money aside and think you're going to be free. You're going to save enough money. Inflation, as money's in the bank, is sitting there. The money has to be somewhere that is making money, and it's got to be continuously moving. In your savings account, you're losing money.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Under your mattress.
You're losing money.
In your 401k.
Yep. If you're holding on to it and looking at it every day, you're losing money. If you're not invested in something where it's bringing money back to you, but it's got to be the right investment. And real estate is the number one investment. Whether it goes up or down, it's still there.
It's still there. You don't lose it.
You don't lose it.
It may fluctuate. The value may fluctuate, but you don't use it. So guys, make sure you go download bit.ly/notme2021. Get your free copy of Women Don't Get Left Behind in Real Estate. And do yourself another favor. Schedule a call with Chiquita so that you can be on top of what's about to happen next.
Right.
It's almost like we have a crystal ball.
Mm.
You know, Tony Robbins says success leaves clues, but life does too. And we've got to stop being victims of the same things over and over. We know what's coming. We know what's coming.
Right.
So we got to realize, okay, what can I do to leave this situation not on the bottom? Mm-hmm. I want to leave this situation on the top. I want to leave this situation in a better place than when I came in. You know, Chiquita, I know me and you have similar goals. My goal is to reduce and refute and reject abject poverty among women. Mm-hmm. I fully believe that every woman is capable of generating riches that will free her from her current situation. And I know you're the same as it relates to real estate.
Right.
I know you believe every woman should own a piece of, you know, once you own a piece of property, guys, you're never quote unquote homeless.
Right.
You're never broke.
Right.
You'll always have somewhere to go. And I think that that should be the goal for women, not just now. One of the things that we learned a long time ago is that women do 75% of the world's work, but only have 10% of the world's money and 1% of the world's land. Wow. Look at your neighbor and say, not me. Mm. Somebody type not me in the chat. Because until you do something differently, what's going to happen is you're going to end up being that 10%, that 1%. Right. So you got to say to yourself, not me. And I've got to do something now to get the results that will make me and my family rich in the future. You got to do something now because that 401k is not going to make you rich. That job is not going to never make you rich.
Right.
And if you don't do something to change the way you operate with money, and with me, I'm going to teach you how to earn what you need. And Chiquita's going to teach you how to invest for what you need.
All right.
But you can't keep showing up thinking that things are just going to change because they're not. The environment is changing, y'all.
Right.
And I feel like this is millionaire season. And this ain't winter, this ain't fall, this ain't the summer solstice. This is millionaire season. And just can you say me in the chat if you want an opportunity to live richly? We talked about earlier the definition of rich. And everybody's definition of rich is different. But my definition is not working for anybody else. Somebody just type in the chat, I'm rich. See, you got to confirm that thing. You got to say it out loud.
Right.
My definition of rich is being able to take care of my children the way I want to. Come on now. Somebody just say, I'm rich in the chat. My definition of rich is not have to go to no man's job and being able to work for myself, sleep when I want to, eat when I want to, go to the bathroom. Some of us can't even go to the bathroom on our job without reporting in. Somebody say, I'm rich in the chat. So you got to start to move differently and think differently. If you truly want riches in your life, you got to call it out.
Right.
It's there. And then, like the words say, faith without works is dead. You got to do the work. So download your free copy of Women Don't Get Left Behind in Real Estate. If you missed being rich in real estate the last time, if you missed being rich in real estate in 2008, if you're missed being rich in real estate back in the 90s, here it comes again. Everything that's old is new again. From corduroys to big bottom pants is back. Mini skirts will be back in a minute. Big collar shirts will be back in a minute.
Yeah.
Real estate investing will be back. And I'm going to tell you something else too before you go out there and think, let me run out there and do it by myself. Wrong, because you're going to end up losing your life savings. Right. Or you run into one of these big boys saying, oh, let us teach you how to do real estate. Number one, they're not going to teach you nothing. Mm-hmm. They're going to take all your money you could be using to buy a house, a piece of property. They're going to give you all these facts and figures and strategies, but they're not going to really get out there and help you become rich. Right. They don't want to. They don't want to dilute the market.
Right, Coach.
They don't want to look around and see a bunch of women in the room. They don't want to look around and see a bunch of dog people in the room. They just don't. They have cornered the real estate market by making us afraid to touch it.
Right. Well, that's good. The truth. Real talk, Coach. Real talk.
CC said, charging you $50,000 at these weekend seminars.
That's right.
All your money in seminar, only realize now you ain't got no money to get no property.
Right.
You got to stop leaving yourself out of money.
You're right, Coach. I know some people that paid that still don't have property, still hadn't made it rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the game.
Right.
And we got to be careful not showing honor to other people because they look like us. We run out there and we want to do business with Bob and Tim and Sam. And what we don't realize is Bob and Tim and Sam, they don't have no compassion for whether you make it or not.
Right.
Bob and Tim and Sam ain't finna stop and make sure you don't get left behind. Bob and Tim and Sam is not gonna stop and make sure that you catching on, or that you understand, or that you have what you need before that class is over. Give yourself a chance to be rich. How many of you would like a chance? Just a chance. Because you know you're going to study, and you know you're going to spend your time and do the right things, and you know you need the money, and you know you're sick of working a job. How many of you would want to give yourself a chance to be rich? Go ahead and say me in the chat. CC said, and they tell you what to say to get a credit line increase. One lady paid $90K on her American Express and didn't buy one product. The game is to be sold, not told. I tell y'all.
Wow.
Stop counting yourself out of this money because you don't know how. Stop counting yourself off your money because you watching the do-it-yourself network and think you just gonna run out there and buy properties and flip them yourself and get in that thing, and it's so full of mold and termites and rotted wood that you lose all your money.
Right.
It's too many things to be watchful for, guys.
Right, Coach.
Too many. So, guys, give yourself a chance. bit.ly/notme2021. The word says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Yeah.
Will you even just put yourself in a position that you can enjoy some of this life? Come on now.
Right.
I can't wait till COVID left. Matter of fact, I know we're doing something in Houston in November. Shoot, I'm thinking about planning something in Houston in May. As long as they get that vaccine out, baby, that's gonna be it. I'm be ready.
Yeah, a lot of us gonna be a lot of places after being kept in for the past year.
But it's the having that freedom. I remember me and Keita talked about one time, and Keita, I'm gonna let you tell them how when she first got free from her job, she couldn't find nobody to go nowhere with her.
You're right. Everybody had to work. Everybody, I got to schedule time off for next month. I got to put it in 2 weeks ahead of time. When you're free, it's a whole totally different world, a different point of view. I went into, and I tell this story, I went into Walmart the other day, and there was a lady at the cash register right before Thanksgiving. And she said, "Oh, thank goodness today's Friday." I said, "Oh, I don't even know what today is." Because when you don't have to go to work and you're not right to date,
I used to mark my days by paydays.
Yeah.
I knew it was the 1st or the 15th. I knew when it was Friday. Now, any given day, you can look in your account and there's money.
Yeah. And
any given day, you get more money today than you got yesterday.
Yeah.
Any given time. So I want to give this as a gift. And yeah, you're going to have to pay for the class, but it's such a gift in so many other ways.
Right.
If I would have had an opportunity, a fraction of the opportunity to spend $65 a week to learn how to become rich, if me and my kids had to wash laundry to get $65 a week, I would have done it. If me and my kids had to run deliveries, if we had to bake and cater, if we had to make gift baskets, I just want you to hear me real quick. because even this conversation is a gift. This conversation is telling you that you can afford anything and you can do anything short term. What is your end game?
Right.
What is your final goal? Is it to go sit down somewhere? Is it to travel? What do you really want?
Right.
And nobody can say that but you. I think we get so caught up sometimes in watching other people that you want something that they have just because they have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you this story, then we're gonna get out of here. Let me see if I can find it because I always want to make sure to tell it right.
And you know, Coach, that $65 is a small price to pay to be free, to free yourself and your family for the rest of your life. You don't want to spend over the majority of your life at a job, and then go retire and live and don't have enough money. You'll have freedom with no finances, and that's what real estate does for you.
Let me read y'all this if you'll entertain me. It says it's the parable of the Mexican fisherman and the banker. An American investment banker was taking a much needed vacation in a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. The boat had several large, fresh fish in it. The investment banker was impressed by the quality of the fish and asked the Mexican how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, only a little while. The banker then asked, why didn't he stay out longer and catch more fish? The Mexican fisherman replied, he had enough to support his family's immediate needs. The American then said, well, what do you do with the rest of your time? The Mexican fisherman replied, I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take siesta with my wife, stroll into the village each evening while I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor. The investment banker scoffed. I'm an Ivy League MBA and I could help you. You could spend more time fishing and with the proceeds buy a bigger boat. And with the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy several boats until eventually you would have a whole fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to the middleman, you could sell directly to the processor, eventually opening up your own cannery. You could control the product processing and distribution. Then he added, of course, you would need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, where you would run your growing enterprise. The Mexican fisherman asked, but senor, how long will this take? To which the American replied, oh, 15 to 20 years.
Mm.
But then what? Asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, that's the best part. When the time is right, you could announce an IPO, sell your stock to the public, and become very rich. You could make millions. Millions, senor. Then what? To which the investment banker replied, then you would retire. You could move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take siesta with your wife, stroll to the village in the evening where you could sip wine and play guitar with your amigos. To which the Mexican replied, I already have that life. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
He's trying to tell the man, and Tamika said Miss Chiquita's class is a class that gives back and can get you paid. He's trying to tell the man that you got to do all this to live the life you already living. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah, got it.
What you got to start putting in your vision is, what is it that I really want out of my life? And if it's financial freedom, you need to come on board.
Right.
If it's the opportunity to be able to get out of your job, then you need to come on board. Define rich for yourself. If it's not owing anybody or being able to pay who you owe in a timely fashion, everybody doesn't want a big, complicated, expensive life. But are you living life at all? And if not, what is it going to take you to live that life?
Right.
So make sure you not only go to bit.ly/notme2021, but make sure you also schedule a call with Miss Chiquita so she can talk to you about your retirement. We always say retirement is not an age. Retirement is a dollar figure in your bank account. So let's make sure we do what we need to do to get to that dollar figure much quicker.
Right.
Miss Chiquita, anything else you want to say this morning?
I want to say, ladies, the time is now. Put yourself first. Start being selfish on who you really want to be, to live your real life. And you got to start preparing now. This is the right time to get into real estate. So go ahead and hit that link, bit.ly/notme2021. Let's chat for a few minutes. Let's take the Retire Math survey and see where you're at. You have to get started. You have to get started.
And you can't keep leaving it on the back burner. You can't keep waiting until there's a better opportunity. You can't keep waiting till COVID is over. That's too late.
Right.
Because everybody is sitting on the bench with you. You got to do something to get to the head of the class.
Right.
All right. We love you guys. We're going to get out of here. bit.ly/notme2021. Download your copy of Women Don't Get Left Behind in Real Estate for free. Schedule your call. And guys, we will see you on the other side.